Hey, this is Marcus or Squeeze or whatever you want to call me, and today we're looking at the song Amplifier. I said I could have said I'd get this out a little earlier, but I'm gonna be honest, I was just playing Minecraft too much, so I got distracted. But we're here now, and this is the mix. It's gonna be broken down into a couple of different groups. We have keys, some of the bass, orc stuff like strings, little Daft Punk thing I do with the second chorus, some of the ear candy. I don't know, this is a big group for so little ear candy. And then I did a solo and all of this. Actually, let me make sure that this is set to the right output so you can hear it. There we go. All right, so first I want to talk about what the goal of the song was. And basically I wanted to, because the whole album is basically about dystopia and the one that we are currently living, kind of paralleling it with a fictional dystopia. And every song on this album is a character piece, more or less. This song would be about a kind of a pop star superhero character named Amplifier. And her whole thing is that she is living in this world that is pretty fucked up, but she's trying to spread positivity and, somewhat distract people from the reality that they're living in. And I think it kind of reflects that dissonance within the difference between the lyrics and the instrumental, and I think it works pretty well. I got Michelle on this song doing main vocals, and I have my friends Lauren and Cece doing background vocals in the chorus and in the bridge. And this song kind of has had some history. This is, as you might notice, actually probably won't notice, hang on, let me put this down like that. This is version 2 of the song. The first version, I don't know if I still have the mix, but it went in a more like organic rock kind of direction, and I was going through it, and at a certain point I kind of realized the song wasn't really giving the right vibe, wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So I took the vocals, took the chord progression and the bass line, and then scrapped everything else and started all over. And the result was this song, and I think it turned out really great. I'll play the parts that we're going to go through. I don't think I'll play the whole song, it's a bit long. So anyway, I'll start out with the vocals, as they are the biggest group, very clearly. We have a lot of vocals here. And I have them pretty well organized into groups here. Let's go ahead and solo. Yeah, a couple of BGVs as well, but we're going to solo all the vocals together.
Sing to the sky till the night comes. Sing for those who can't see the sun. We will dance and shout down from the heavens. Look at the stars, how they shine, how they sing, so divine. None can ignore what they say. So let's sing out, scream, plug into one amplifier so the world can hear us. Amplify and we'll dance, no we won't fear tomorrow. Our troubles are gone, let's make our voices one. Let neon lights bring out our souls. And
Michelle is an amazing vocalist, and really fits the song so well. I'm so lucky to have actually met her and had her do this for me. So let's break into a bit of the vocal chains here, mostly using variations on the same chain throughout the song. You might notice the pre-chorus is a bit wider with terms of panning and a bit tighter in terms of the vocal alignment. But it's a pretty basic chain. I have some slight auto-tune going on, The settings aren't too crazy. With a good vocalist like Michelle, you really only need to like have this around 30, 35, 40, and flex tune to be around 20. Don't touch these two. And I didn't even need to set the key. I could have set the key, but I didn't because I wanted to let her do some non-diatonic chord tones, because the song does have some modal interchange going on and hybrid chords, whatever. But that's the verse chain is just, you have the tuning, EQ, just to get rid of a lot of the bottom end noise. I'll actually take this and sort of go through each step of the chain. And this is not including group saturation, distortion, whatever. So
Sing to the sky,
right,
till the night comes.
the tuning in there just to even out any slight sways between different vocal takes to keep it on more uniform, more electronic, less organic in a way. Because this is a dystopian song, I did want to keep things on the inorganic side in terms of the sound of this overall album. Then we have
Sing to the sky,
get rid of all the lows, tame this little mid-range.
sing for those who can't see.
Then we have some de-essing, or no, dynamic EQ rather. Because there was one specific frequency in the room we recorded in that seemed to resonate quite harshly.
Till the night comes, sing for
See how much
those who can't
easier on the
see.
ears it is. And then we get some pretty basic compression,
Sing to the sky,
just catching any extraneous
till the
peaks.
night
Not really doing anything
comes,
right now.
sing
There's
for
did something
those who
there,
can't see
and there.
the sun.
We had a de-esser just to get rid of the sibilance.
To the sky, till the night comes.
Probably could have gone a little harder on it, to be honest, but it is what it is. And then I went through and EQ'd again after the de-essing and compressing, and boosted her what I call the clarity frequencies, which is in this range between 2 and 3K. There's like, that's where most people's vocal clarity would be. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's how I hear it. And
Sing to the sky, till the night comes. Sing for those who can't see the sun. We will dance.
see, like this, as it stands, would be a little bit like muddy in the mix. Kind of, you pretty easily get buried between all the instruments, the piano and the bass. So
Sing
this helps to keep it on a place where it can stand out, have it live in its own little world. And then some more compression. Just this time I went a little harsher on the threshold and backed off the ratio, just to keep the volume all uniform and give it a little boost. And then yeah, doubles are more the same. I think the majority of these vocals are mostly the same. There wasn't anything extraordinarily different I did anywhere.
No will be.
I have a saturation on. It's not like it's doing too much. It's a little soft clipping, just to give it that extra body. I have that on all the groups in the vocals.
Amplifier.
That's what else is there? There's the bridge. I think that's a little different. I wanted to get the bridge to be like more of a live sound, more distorted, more angry.
A dystopian nightmare. There's no winning inside yet.
I think if I went through this mix again, I'd probably do the EQs just a bit differently. The song did sound great. It did suffer from the fact that it took so long to finish. I think I started working on this song in 2021, and I spent quite a while getting sessions together, writing the lyric. The lyrics didn't come too slowly. It was more the chord progression and getting friends of mine in to record, scheduling, because everyone else is all, they're busy doing their own thing. I didn't want to be like, oh, you got to get it by this time, because I didn't really have a deadline at that point. But yeah, that's basically the vocals. I think actually I was talking about these. Yeah, I don't have no tuning here, no de-essing, none of that. Keep it nice and harsh. I might consider putting a de-esser on this in the future. But I mean, this mix is done, so in the next thing I do with Michelle, and I have a modulation thing like this, then you know. Anyway, I've got this bass. This is Scarby's Rickenbacker and Contact. I think this is a really good sound, especially with the mix I have going for it here. It sounded better than my actual bass, so eventually I ended up keeping it. I actually wrote this out on actual bass. Learned it for the first version of the song, and then when I scrapped everything, I found that I liked the MIDI a bit better because it helped reinforce that just inorganic feeling. Even though the sound is great, right? Like that's a very thick, nice bass sound. But it's a pretty simple mix. Just EQ to bring up these high mids, deck out the subs a little bit, and then another EQ to boost the highs. It's really nice. Not really too much to say about it. The chords were very interesting. Me and my roommate Zach, we went through a lot of like disco, city pop type stuff, and we're listening for commonalities in the chords on different sections of the song. And we found that every time they hit a 5 chord, it was always a hybrid voicing. So I'm trying to exemplify that in the bass motion, but also keeping it bouncy, disco-y, that octave-y thing. I think it came out pretty well. The chords I mapped out here as well, but these are just regular things. Speaking of chords, actually, we can go to the keys now, because there's not much really to say about the bass. I mean, you'll find a lot of the instruments here are just MIDI with EQ compression. You don't really need much more than that for this kind of thing. However, I do have this FM8 patch that I can't show you because it's frozen right now, but I basically have whatever the piano's doing here. I have going to an FM8 patch that's arpeggiated. So that would be this, and they're just playing the same chords. This piano is so bright and so like almost like not glassy but like plasticky almost, where it sounds great in the mix. It really stands out, but it has that slight fakeness to it that makes it really pretty. And with Zach playing piano here, I wanted to really enjoy it, and I can really enjoy it, especially in the solo. Which is up here. Same patch, just a little bit more going on, like cutting out more lows, having it compressed a bit more, and sidechain to the kick, whatever. But you can hear the chords really get funky. And then they cut off there because solo happens. I will say I have quite a bit in the realm of reverb going on. Where's my... We can close the vocals. I'm sending the solo, the piano, especially the solo, to its own reverb here. It's Valhalla. Very good. I probably would have cut out more of the low end from this, to be honest, but nice long, big reverb. And a pretty standard, you know, dotted eighth note, dotted quarter note, whatever delay. Yeah, that's dotted quarter note, I think. Yeah, but again, really basic stuff. Not really much to go over there. I have some orchestral elements in here, some horns and some trumpets. These horns, what I have, I would have preferred to get live players, but I couldn't find any in time for the song to be finished, so I just used MIDI. It is what it is. And this, let's see, where we at? There's this, which is a string pad. All right, hang on. Where's... Again, just outlining the chords. I noticed in a lot of disco songs, they had like a single note pad almost, where it was just one note that the strings were holding throughout the entire song, or even just the chorus or whatever. And so I wanted to do that, but not make it one note. I wanted to have it outline the chords. So I just have a little string pad going. It's very nice. The horns are over here. Yeah, they sound really weird, but in the context of the song, they're not too bad, huh?
Amplifier so the world can hear us. Amplifier.
Yeah, I think I liked it more than I with it than without it, so I kept it in. Definitely would have gotten live players for that next go around. In the second chorus, I have this little Daft Punk section here, where this is actually courtesy of one of my professors, Jason Petrin, absolute wizard, and he was listening to the song and giving me some feedback on it. And he was like, yeah, there's a lot of micro motion going on in the chords and the harmonies and the bass lines, but there's not a lot of macro motion. It very much stays the same feel throughout, partly due to the drums, but probably due to the style. And he suggested I tried listening to some Daft Punk and taking inspiration from how they sample and sample myself. So that's what I did, and it was a great idea. I have the sample I took here, where I mute the drums, just listening to all the harmonic elements. And then I took that, I put it into a drum rack here, and I played around with some notes. You know, and then I settled on what I heard that I liked. And you add drums to that. Yeah, and I rather enjoyed that. So kept it in for the first half. Second half, I went back to what was played. But yeah, let's talk about the drums. I used 2 kicks. Probably would have consolidated it to 1 kick. But I liked how they sounded together. See, this is more like a distortion hit than anything else. And this is the real meat of the kick. But together, they made a nice percussive banging. I want to really pulse, and it does. Probably would have mixed it a bit differently. This EQ is a little weird. We got some toms here. Just samples that I had in my library. Some of them are stock Ableton stuff. You know? Some little stuff like this. Just for fills. What do we got? Snare. We're just chilling on the snare. Light EQing. Where do we have automation on this? Show. Ah, yes, that's right. In the beginning, I have the snare hitting 2 and 4. And I have the low completely removed. Because once it hits in the... there we go. Makes the verse feel more of like a punchy hit. And it was like more impactful that way. Cymbals. Pretty static. I have not really much change going on here because we don't really need it. I have a disco 16th live feel thing on the groove here in the MIDI. Giving it a little 16th note swing. It's very much the style for the kick and the snare to be straight and the 16th note swing to apply here on the cymbals and in the toms whenever they are playing. But I think most of the toms are actually straight, but either way. Ear candy. I had some samples that I thought were funny. Like this, don't know what that is, but I heard it. Ed Netty's Hello. It's just fun. This thing I think I made with a resonator. What was this? Just white noise riser. And then the classic. Good noise, Michelle. Getting frustrated in recording because the parts are hard. It's a very hard vocal. Start letting out a little frustration. Funny sound though. And yeah, that's basically the whole mix. I really like this song. This is probably my first or my favorite or second favorite or tied for that on the whole album. It's just a lot of fun to listen to, and it was a lot of fun to make, even though it took so fucking long. You know, but hey, what can you do, right? Anyway, I think the only other thing that I'd mention is the fact that I'm running a lot of sends here. I have a vocal verb, I have a drum verb, I have a shimmery thing that I was playing around with. I don't know if I actually used this maybe on the strings. And then this echo for when Michelle goes rah, and on a couple of other parts. And then mastering chain. It's alright. I didn't really know about mastering at the time of making this thing, so it's a very loud mix because of the mastering chain. But it sounds great, so can't complain. Anyway, any questions, leave them in the comments. I think my next song, I don't know what I'm going to do next, but whatever it is, it'll be up here maybe in a week. Anyway, see ya.